What's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, small law firm in central Minnesota. Listen, today I've got a little bit of a different video. I want to start talking about how businesses interact with small but dedicated and active communities online. And when I say small, I mean relative to the greater market. These communities can range anywhere from a few hundred very dedicated people all the way up to millions of fans. What I'm simply talking about is something smaller than the greater market that exists generally for goods and services, okay? So one of the ways that people have been interacting with these communities is through something called Kickstarter or Indiegogo, right? Crowdfunding sources. If you've seen any of my videos lately, I've been talking a lot about Comicsgate, and these guys are they're doing exactly what I'm talking about. They're utilizing a community of fans and followers from various platforms, either Twitter or YouTube or a combination of them, and they're providing a direct market for those fans to buy products from creators they support and can follow along with and interact with. All right? This is how businesses are really starting to interact directly with their fans in a way that hasn't been possible until recently. But there are other ways to interact with online communities. And businesses need to be careful because how you interact with a fan community can turn something that you're working on into nothing in a moment. And I want to talk about one of those instances right now. I'm going to talk about the Kickstarter for a company called Little Platinum Books. And let me pull it up right now. There it is. This is the Kickstarter page. It's a snip from the Kickstarter page for Little Platinum Books. Obviously, you'll see the funding unsuccessful. Its funding date was August 31st. And if you notice, they raised $3,387 out of $15,000. But let me tell you a story about how 15 minutes prior to this campaign ending, that $3,387 actually read over $15,000, $15,587 if my memory serves me correct. Unfortunately, I don't have a screenshot because I saw this happen, but I saw this happen in real time. I happened to check the Kickstarter and it went away with 15 minutes left to completion. Now, I know exactly where this started. Believe it or not, I know exactly where this started. Let me pull it up for you. Forgive me. Here we go. Here we go. It's right here. I'm going to find it in just here we go. This is this is where it happened. All right. So let me move over a little bit and I'll show you. Okay, so Ack Bangarang, I don't know who this guy is, but this is on Twitter, right? Now, Ack Bangarang is replying to Maddox Rules and Ali Spangola. Maddox had Little Platinum Books creators, one of them, I believe, on his show, and Little Platinum Books became a sponsor of Maddox's show for at least one episode. Okay, so that's what happened. And then there was, of course, some interaction with the Dick Show community. If you don't know anything about that, Maddox has sued Dick Masterson, and there is friction between their two online communities that happens all the time. Full disclosure, I am a fan of the Dick Show. I have thoroughly covered the lawsuit. You can watch all of those videos if you want. They're not important here, all right? So Little Platinum Books responds to this person who says this. So glad Little Platinum Books has decided to help fund your lawsuits, talking to Maddox. Your book obviously isn't doing the work for you. Now here is where Little Platinum Books goes wrong. Lol. Hey, anything we can do to help bitch slap a thief. Glad to stop stealing stuff and stop acting like a 12-year-old. Now what he is referring to are allegations that Dick Masterson stole something from Maddox. Now, this has been one of these interesting accusations because there's never been any evidence presented to back it up or to even clarify what exactly was stolen. Even in the lawsuit documents between Maddox and Dick, Maddox accuses him of conversion. Conversion is a form of stealing under the law. It's a specific cause of action, but it basically refers to the taking of something. But it's really hard to discern what exactly Maddox is talking about in that lawsuit. And I'm not going to get into the weeds here because whatever it is isn't really relevant. What happened here that is relevant is that Little Platinum Books, a Kickstarter publisher who has not completed funding, stepped into an online feud between two communities, one of which at least is very, very active, and that is the Dick Show community. At this point, Little Platinum Books goes under the microscope. Now, it's important to note that at this point in time, Little Platinum Books had not been funded. They were still around this 3,000 figure where they ended up. What happened in the meanwhile is that Little Platinum Books got an infusion from roughly 3 donations, I believe, of about $12,000. Now, had Little Platinum Books not said anything on Twitter and not inserted themselves rather brusquely into an online feud, they may not have ever had anything happen. But what happened to affect their Kickstarter? But what happened after that is where the story really gets interesting. So they receive roughly $12,000, I think $12,500 or so, almost immediately after going on Maddox's show. Now Maddox, whose Patreon looks like this, right here, this is his current Patreon amount, and this is what it was about at the time that all this happened, suddenly looked like this. This is 2 days after the $12,500 funding hit Little Platinum Books. Maddox suddenly, and full disclosure, Maddox was at 43 patrons, and then he went to 44, and then once month end happened, he dropped down to 39 and is now back to 40, okay? So if you're noticing that these two screenshots, I'll put them up side by side, the current one has 40 patrons. The old one had 44. What I want to stress to you is that Maddox is about $180 a month, roughly, with 43 patrons. And at 44 patrons, he went up to $6,553. So he got an infusion of cash roughly equal to $6,500 per month, okay? So that happens 48 hours after the Little Platinum Books got their $12,500 infusion. Now, this is very strange. For a Kickstarter to have existed for a long time with basically no exposure, suddenly goes on the show of an internet personality like Maddox, who at least at one point had a very big following and still has people, some people who watch and listen to his show. And then almost immediately, to get a $12,500 infusion from 3 backers, and then to have a very suspicious amount go into Maddox's Patreon account, raises eyebrows, all right? People start putting things together. There are various theories as to what happened here. One theory that's been floated about is that there's a quid pro quo of some sort between Maddox and the Little Platinum Books. Basically, we'll give you upfront, Maddox will give Little Platinum Books upfront cash. Little Platinum Books would pay Maddox back through a Patreon donation, because the Kickstarter ended August 31st. So Patreon charges would actually occur after that Kickstarter happened. But as we know, once the Kickstarter went down, the Patreon for Maddox disappeared. The large donation disappeared and was not processed. If you're not aware of how this works, Patreon, when it actually goes through the charging point, at the first couple days of the month, if a payment doesn't process, that payment disappears from the Patreon. Okay, So Maddox got a one-time promised infusion. It looks like it didn't go through for him, although I guess it's entirely possible that it did. And then the Kickstarter, of course, lost its $12,500. Now, that's the end of the story, sort of. But let's talk about how we got to there. So when people started looking into this, they started to notice various things. And you can follow all of this on Twitter, actually. If you look up the Little Platinum Books Twitter account, you can actually follow these conversations as people are learning about and discovering this and asking questions in real time. Here is some of the interesting stuff. So Little Platinum Books has no presence online. I think they have like 5 YouTube followers and like 6 YouTube videos. They've got nothing there. Twitter, they have like 15 followers, but they have something very interesting on Instagram, which I'm going to bring up right now. Here is their Instagram page. Notice this. They have 33 posts and almost 6,500 followers, which is astonishing. It's astonishing because they have 0 internet presence on social media outside of Instagram. But they have 6,500 followers with 33 photos. And I mean, I'm not going to be a judge, but these photos aren't the type that tend to gather like massive reactions on Instagram. These aren't bikini models, okay? Look at this guy. That's, you know, there you go. But look at this. It has 6,500 followers. They got 10 likes, 30 likes, 34 likes, 11 likes, 11 likes, 18 likes. Oh, you can't see all of this. There's more down here. Sorry, there's the 18, 11, 11. So what's happening here? Well, let me tell you what appears to be happening. And I don't know for sure, but and this is what people have been asking questions about. And again, remember that this started with a tweet inserting themselves into an online disagreement between 2 communities, okay? Here is the tweets. So, Little Platinum Books has this tweet where someone, this person, Levi Clay, asked them about a member of their team, a guy by the name of Jaron Garcia. And let me show you who he is. This is Jaron Garcia. He's listed on their page as marketing. And you probably, I'm going to blow this up because you probably can't see, we can't read, but I'll read through it real quick. Having started out as a successful entrepreneur at the age of 11 with his father's blessing, Jaron Garcia has worked with well-known clients all across the nation to build their social media reach with his videography and social media consulting. Known recently for his successful vlog, which you can find on YouTube, Garcia Life, where his family of 5, including high school sweetheart Molly and 3 children, go on adventures and deal with the day-to-day crazies. Jaron joined with Little Platinum Books after being blown away by the lightning in a bottle Pierre and Scotty cooked up. Well, that's a nice story. Here's the interesting thing. So Jaron Garcia does run that Garcia Life. Garcia Life has something like 24,000 YouTube subscribers. They have some videos involving the birth of their child that reach something like 800,000 to 1 million views each. So there is some success there. And Jaron has a very large Instagram following. Now, he does not have a Twitter account that I'm able to locate. Maybe he has one out there, but it is not part of his public persona. It's not listed on these links here. But here's the thing. So Jaron joins as marketing, but what are the circumstances under which he joins? That's kind of laid out here. So, Levi Clay mentions that Jaron Garcia paid a large amount of money to Little Platinum Books and then was also on their team, which is a violation of Kickstarter's terms of service. Now, technically, Kickstarter says no one on the creative team can be a part of the funding contribution, because if the creative team who stands to benefit from the product that they're creating dumps money into a Kickstarter, that defrauds people who are otherwise backing the Kickstarter, because is it really successful if you're putting your own money into your crowdfunding campaign? Many people would argue no. Now, Levi Clay brings up the fact that Jaron donated at least $2,500, and this is verified in other tweets from Little Platinum Books. Again, these are all still out there. You can go look at them if you want. He donated at least $2,500, and then was put on the team, according to Little Platinum Books. Let's just read it. Mr. Garcia contacted us after seeing the Twitter trolling, which is not actually what they say in their profile about him. They're talking about lightning in a bottle or something like that. This is about Twitter trolling. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact date that Jaron Garcia joined the team, because as far as I've seen, he's been on it from the get-go. But I'm not saying he was. I just don't have any evidence to say that he wasn't on the team prior to the large donations coming in. But Little Platinum Books, it says, Mr. Garcia contacted us after seeing the Twitter trolling, lol at you, and wanted to help by pledging for a couple of kids to be in our books, and asked to help with marketing once the books launched. Which is interesting because, again, that's not how they have it set up on their website. But in any case, let's persist. So Levi Clay responds, and you forgot the part where someone gave you a bunch of money and is also a part of your team. Lucky Kickstarter stepped in and stopped the genuine backers from getting ripped off, eh? Little Platinum Book says, you forgot the part where he had to give a bunch of money to be on the team. You forgot the part where Kickstarter apologized for their mistake in this regard. And this, let me be clear, go look at the Kickstarter. You can read the emails that they've made public. Is a little suspect on how much Kickstarter has apologized to them for this mistake. But in any case, we'll accept it. But they've said you had to give a bunch of money to be on the team. Now, here's the problem. Hypothetically, if they have given Jaron, or if Jaron has given $2,500 and they have promised to pay him back for marketing services, that looks like a quid pro quo that is likely a violation of Kickstarter's terms of service because it defrauds legitimate backers. All right? I don't know if that's what happened, but it kind of looks like it. Hey, if you give us $2,500, you can be on our marketing team, which is presumably a paid position. But here's the real question. This of course is speculation, but here's the real question. Jaron is apparently a marketing professional. What did he do? What did he do to help them market? And I'm not entirely sure. Again, their YouTube channel has 5 subscribers, I think. Maybe 6 and 5 videos. It's either 6 subscribers and 5 videos or 5 subscribers and 6 videos. Go check it out. I don't know. Their Twitter account has 15 followers. Their Instagram, and this is interesting. Let me pull up another image for you that I thought I had loaded, but I don't. Here, I'll have it in just a second. So here we go. All right, let me blow this up. So here's an interesting thing as well. So obviously, I'm not the only one who noticed that Mr. Garcia, as a marketing professional, doesn't seem to have done much marketing for them. So here's a response that Little Platinum Books gave. Thanks for the reply, and no, we didn't put any of our own money into the Kickstarter. They're responding at this point to an account that's associated with the Dick Show, the Dick Masterson Show. Nice try making stuff up. We actually have 2 celebrity backers, YouTube influencers specifically. Now, presumably, this is Jaron Garcia and Maddox. Presumably. They have never revealed who the other influencer is. We know Jaron Garcia is one of them, but listen, here's what happened. They got 3 big donations that amounted to the $12,500 infusion. One, the Little Platinum Books guy has said was his own father. Now, the Little Platinum Books guy is Pierre Arnold III, and his father is Pierre Arnold Jr. And so he says that Kickstarter mixed them up, thinking that Junior was the same person as the third, and they pulled his pledge that way. That's actually plausible, and I think we should give that to him. They've said that one of the other big backers is Jaron Garcia, and that they had another big backer who's a YouTube influencer, and they have refused to name him or explain what happened to his donation. presumably that person would be Maddox. Now, the reason I presume this is because Maddox is the only person who has publicly made a statement about Little Platinum Books that is anybody that we can tell is a YouTube influencer in any sort of definition of the word. Maddox had them on his show, right? And he listed them as a sponsor for the show before they actually came on. So Maddox has publicly mentioned them. Their other YouTube influencer and marketing director, Jaren Garcia, has not mentioned them in any way that I can find. All right. So here's where this gets interesting. To me, I don't know if you guys find it interesting. We actually have 2 celebrity backers, YouTube influencers specifically. One of them wanted their kid to be in a couple books. How exciting. So this person replies, why would someone you call an influencer not tweet or talk about it at all? Why wouldn't they tell their fans about you? This is, in my opinion, a very good question. And guys, I have looked and there just isn't anyone talking about it. It doesn't make sense for them to just drop a large sum of money on you and then pretend like you don't exist. Are they ashamed they gave money? Little Platinum Books responds. We're going to talk about these responses in a little bit. They did talk about us. You have to step up your Instagram game. Guys, go look on Instagram for mentions of Little Platinum Books. There are 3 total, none of them from anyone who's an influencer. Actually, I think 2 of them are from the campaign's father, Pierre Arnold Jr., and one of them is from Little Platinum Books. Interestingly, we can look at this in just a second, and we will. But let's go back to that Instagram page, because I noticed something as I was prepping this video. I did not realize that they had almost 6,500 followers on Instagram until today. What gives? You've got 6,500 followers and you're barely able to raise 55 backers for your Kickstarter project. You've got, again, 6,500 followers. There's no interactivity. There's no buzz about Little Platinum Books. None of these people are talking about it. It doesn't translate to Twitch. It doesn't translate to YouTube. And it doesn't translate to funding. So I want to do something real quick and just take a look at these followers. I think that'd be useful, right? We can see right here. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. Just a second here. So that you guys can read this. So my face is going to kind of get vanished. Okay. So these are the people backing Little Platinum Books, okay? We've got Musha Abdullahi, Dennis Wise, Varun, Rahul Raj, Mahiz Valentine, Whale Engenharia, Andavila Cardinal. Let's see. I can't read. Hakpitya, Rashid, Hamza. There's a Russian in there. Follow to follow, Sukhoi.01 or .1. Look at all these names of, let's see, that looks like Thailand. Guys, I encourage you to go check out their Instagram. Go check it out. Look at, just click on any of these. Here, let's pick a random one. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to scroll here and click. Who do we get? Raja. All right. Raja has 175 followers. And, yeah. Here's Raja. Okay. You know, that's where we are. Let's go back to... Let's go back here. Check out any of these followers. Let's click on another one. Here we go. Let's see. My adult kid, Heart My Adult Kid, and my rescue Chihuahua Keto Crohn's events, promotions, brand ambassador, Ostomate Geek, healthy lifestyle, nature, health nut. Well, there you go. Here's this person. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know that these are all fake accounts. I don't know that. But they kind of look like fake accounts. Here's the other thing I wanted to show you. Little Platinum Books. So remember how I said you could check out those posts. Here are the 3 posts where they're mentioned. All right. 22 hearts, 39 hearts, 37 hearts. You think a high-powered Kickstarter with 6,500 followers would have more than 3 posts about them and would have a little interactivity on them. But alas, they don't. So this all begs the question. What's going on? I don't know. I don't know. I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts about how various people might try to scam Kickstarter or might try to defraud people out of money. I'm not going to say specifically that that's what Little Platinum Books did. All right? Because I don't have the evidence to conclusively say that they defrauded something. Here's what I'm going to say. Little Platinum Books, whatever was going on with their Kickstarter, whether it was legitimate or not, their interaction with an active insular community online probably cost them their Kickstarter, legitimate or fraudulent. It doesn't matter, all right? Because Little Platinum Books engaged themselves and inserted themselves into an argument rather than marketing actively to both communities, which they can do. They're outside of this fraud. They don't come in with baggage. That these guys decided to go on the show of Maddox doesn't preclude them from courting fans of Dick Masterson. It really doesn't. But because they took a side actively, and again, let me point out just what the where was it? Let me point out just what that tweet was, because this is what really did it, in my opinion. It was this one. They went online without probably hardly any knowledge other than maybe what Maddox told them, and they called someone a thief. That's a pretty salacious accusation, and when you do that to an active community, you might have a problem on your hands brew really quickly. People might look into your stuff, and if there's anything at all suspicious, not specific, anything at all suspicious, they're going to raise alarms because you engaged. So, I wanted to kind of tell the story about Little Platinum Books. I'm going to talk a lot more about crowdfunding. I'm going to talk a lot more about small community engagement, small community marketing, how to navigate these waters appropriately, how to protect yourself while doing that, and what kind of strategies are out there. And I hope you guys are interested in that sort of content as well. Not every job of a lawyer involves actually breaking down legal stuff. Sometimes it's just taking an objective look at things and seeing how to best manage outcomes. And in this case, I think Little Platinum Books could have really used the advice of a dispassionate observer. Actually, like my first response to them, and you can find it on Twitter, was not sure at all why you're inserting yourselves into this fight, something like that. You could be marketing to everybody. And then they tried to walk it back, but at that point it was too late. They'd made the accusation. It was one tweet, guys. One tweet probably sunk that Kickstarter. Maybe for better, honestly, because it's very, very suspicious. And they still have not accounted for who that mystery third donor was with the large donation, and why it sure looks like if you take an amount of, say, $12,500, and then you account for roughly $2,500 from Jaron Garcia, maybe another $2,500, a large donation from Pierre Arnold Jr., you're left with somewhere around $6,000 to $7,000 left of deficiency. And Maddox's Patreon miraculously pops up, you know, how much? Up $6,500 or $6,400 roughly. It just kind of looks like maybe there was some foul play there, but I don't know. I don't know. The problem again is not whether or, well, it would be a problem if they were trying to defraud people via Kickstarter. But the problem for them is that they engaged a community and turned the eyes of hundreds of people to thousands of people onto their business in a negative way. So, something to consider for all you businesses out there. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you like or hate this content. This is kind of a new avenue that I'll be taking as I start ramping up production on more and more subjects. Y'all have a good night.